Hello, good day, and welcome back to the Alfology2 podcast. I think we're on to episode 7 now, which is quite an achievement. Didn't really think we'd make episode 7. Probably thought that I'd give up, or that more so that nobody would be listening, and then I'd get to the point where I'm thinking, well, what's the fucking point in sitting there for hours and then recording stuff if no one's going to listen to it? But honestly, people have listened to it. Listeners across the globe, 5 different countries. I think it's UK, Ireland, Canada, the States, and Australia. People have listened to it, which is odd. I wasn't really expecting that. But they have. And yeah, people, not a huge number, but people are listening to it. So it will continue, at least for the time being. And yes, this is episode number 7. Had good fun last time out talking about science and how it's potentially all made up and what the alternatives are. That was quite entertaining, and it sort of took me back to when I was at school, which is obviously always a good laugh. One thing I did notice is that the acoustics are a bit off last time, and I listened to it back on some speakers on the evening, and it was a little bit echoey. So I've tried to improve the acoustics in this room a little bit today. Put a blanket next to the microphone, put some more soft surfaces in to stop the sound bouncing around. Hopefully it will help. If it doesn't, then apologies. Anyway, so what we're talking about today is baby food. I realise it's maybe a bit of a weird topic, but baby food's great, and it's underrated amongst people who aren't babies. Only babies seem to like it, which is mental. I've been eating baby food for probably 5 years now. Well, 24 years if you include when I was a baby, but big gap in between. I reckon I rediscovered baby food when I was 19, and it's fantastic. I eat little pots of it, and it's a fantastic little snack to have. But people get really angry with you when you eat baby food. They get really upset at the idea of a person eating a food that wasn't specifically designed for them, which I'd like to talk about. So I normally eat it at work. That's a little snack, you know. It gets to about 3 o'clock. You've already had your lunch, but you're a bit hungry. You don't want to eat again because it will ruin your dinner. What you need is a tiny little pot of something delicious. What is better for that than baby food? I honestly can't work it out. People think it's weird. They get really uptight and obsessed about it. They get really angry. What are you doing? That's not for you. That's for babies. Well, fuck off. It's not cat food. It is for people, for baby humans. And not only is it for baby humans, it's for keeping them healthy. It's for literally the most delicate humans that are alive. The standard humans, the ones who aren't ill, the new humans. It's to keep them healthy and alive. So why can't it help me keep healthy and alive? Which I don't really understand why it causes so much rage, and why I have to constantly fight with people about it, to the point where I have to record me ranting about it. And I think more people should get involved and eat baby food. Join the baby food revolution, which I think really needs to be kickstarted. Maybe I'm not the one to do it because people think I'm weird, but people are, I guess, set in their ways. That would be the way I put it. That they can't accept anything which is outside of their little box of thinking, which gets on my nerves, particularly around something so simple. I mean, I'd get it if it was cat food, and I was like, what I'm bringing in for my lunch is one of the little pouches of cat food. So you open it and eat it with a fork, stinks out the office and ruins it for everybody. I would understand that, but baby food isn't cat food. It's human food. It's made to taste good as well. So it's not made for babies to go, oh, fuck it out, this is nasty. It's not made to harm anybody. It's not bleach. It's made for the benefit of human beings. It's got the right, it's full of nutrition. It's good for you. It's made to taste good. I mean, like if I was to not tell you it was baby food, and I was to tell you that I've got a little pot of food, little snack, which was specifically designed to promote good health and specifically designed to taste good, and they tested it on the most delicate of humans, and it helped make them stronger and better, you'd be like, fucking hell, give me that. It sounds like a superfood. And you'd be right. But as soon as you mention baby food, people get all weird about it. But I do understand there's a little bit of weirdness. Yeah, but that's just around branding. It's about the name. And yeah, okay. So but the weirdness can, like, I only eat the dessert ones. Like, not the bolognese ones or the savory ones. Because that you know, I'm not a psycho. Right? It is a little bit weird eating the savoury one. But the dessert ones, just a little pot of apple or blueberry or something, a couple of spoonfuls of that, where you're a bit peckish. It's fucking amazing. And actually, if you were to take the label off, if you were to remove the baby food label and put dessert pot or snack pot on there and eat it, then people would look at you, oh, look at you. You're a fucking sensible bloke. You know what? You come prepared. I'm so impressed with you that you've come prepared with your little dessert pot to eat. And, you know, that's a great idea. I guess less so with the little bolognese ones and the savoury ones. But if you were to say, oh, yeah, so I just need a snack. I bought this tiny little miniature 200ml pot of bolognese, people would go, that's a bit weird. But with like apple crumble or apple oatmeal, people go, oh yeah, smart guy. But, you know, don't have that label or don't have snack pot, have baby food. People start calling you a weirdo. Say you're unhinged. You fucking idiots. And in fact, I think that potentially the Cow and Gate and, well, actually, that's the only baby food company I know. Cow and Gate. Pampers, do they make baby food? I normally eat Cow and Gate, by the way, guys, but or the own brand ones. Anyway, the point is that the suppliers of baby food, they should latch onto this idea. They only need to rebrand their food, and they make millions. In fact, I'm going to fucking shut this podcast down and just sell that idea to them. All you got to do is take the label off, put a new label on, and sell it to yuppies, to professionals as a cool dessert pot, glass pot, so it's recyclable, good for the environment, keeps you full, nutritious, tasty. You know, you can bring it to work very easily, take it with you on the go. You make millions. And all it is the same stuff as your baby food. It's just a different label. These companies missing a trick. They'd make absolute fortune. As an expert in this regard, I just thought I'd share with you my favourite flavours. My favourite flavour is apple oatmeal or apple crumble. And I think that was probably because it has a very distinctive taste. And when I taste it, it tastes, and I think it jerks something in my memory. The taste reminds me of being a baby, which I know is very weird because you don't remember being a baby, but that taste, it just seems so familiar on such a deep level that it almost sort of like calms you down, and you know that little nostalgia hit really takes you to sort of quite a nice place. But I guess objectively, it isn't the tastiest one, although it is my favourite. The tastiest one is the banana one, where they've just like mushed up bananas and put some more nutrients in it. And like, that's the fucking thing as well. If someone was eating mushed up bananas at work, like on toast or something, right, you go just, yeah, that's sensible. But as soon as you say it's baby food, people fucking lose it. They go absolutely mad about it. If I was eating a little bowl of porridge, I'd slice up some apple and put it in there. You go, oh, what a normal person. Yeah, as soon as I call it baby food, They lose it. As you may be able to tell by now, I've got a real fucking chip on my shoulder about this. It's 5 years of having pitched battles with people in offices and also in pubs. When you mention it, people just have an extreme reaction to it, and it's really built up over time. Like I haven't really prepared very much at all for this podcast. This is all coming from a place of rage within me. These are arguments that I've constructed over a number of years. It hasn't been an easy road to get to this point, but I guess I've stuck to my guns, and I really, really, really pushed this baby food thing. The first time I did it, people go, "You're weird," and it would have been easy to give up. Then it would have been easy to go, "You know what? You're right. I am weird." But if you stick to your guns and you don't care about what people think of you and what they say, then you can enjoy life. And maybe that's sort of partially what this is all about. It's about rejecting the norms that society put on you and having a delicious dessert pot at the same time. I don't think it looks too weird either when you buy them. As long as you're an adult, I guess. Like, as long as you're over the age of 18, you can just walk into a shop and buy one. And the first time I bought it, I thought, this is going to look weird. They're going to look at me like, why is this dude buy baby food? And then I realized that I'm old enough to have a baby. Well, I don't have one. That's not the point. But I'm old enough to have one. So there's no real issue with buying it in the shop. There's no stigma around that. The shop assistant will look at you like it's the most normal thing in the world. So you don't look weird when you buy them. You do look weird. People do give you the look when you eat them on the train. when you go in somewhere and you sat opposite someone on the train and you know, I'm a bit hungry. You take out your dessert pot and start eating it. And they see the baby food and they think, what the fuck? Like, is this guy a nonce or something? Is this guy a bit weird? Has he lost it? You know, am I going to be having to talk to a crazy person the whole journey? But that's only because the baby food revolution hasn't been able to take off yet. And once it does, that'll be very different. There will be no stigma attached to eating baby food as an adult. Once they're rebranded and repackaged as dessert pots, no one will bat an eyelid. I guess once the revolution really gets underway, there may be a couple of issues. And the biggest issue that I see is that supply and demand. So the number of baby food pots being sold will obviously increase the demand for baby food, which will mean that the suppliers, such as Cow and Gate, will be able to jack up their prices, which in turn will affect actual babies. Harming babies or starving babies isn't anywhere in my list of things that I want to do. So increasing the demand might cause an issue, but we'll just have to deal with that when we come to it. Again, with the rebranding of the dessert pot, then I don't think it'll create too much issue because they'll be able to introduce them as two different products. So hopefully there won't be too much negative impact on the babies. But even so, actually, even if it were to be more expensive and baby food got more expensive and more difficult to purchase for the kids, then it's just sort of survival of the fittest, really, isn't it? You've heard the phrase, taking candy from a baby. Well, taking apple oatmeal pots from a baby probably isn't too much different. So maybe I'll just go, well, I'm bigger than you, so, you know, I'd eat your food. Probably making myself look a little bit like a monster just saying all this, but yeah. Anyway, aside from talking about taking food from babies, I'm just thinking overall it's a good idea. It's people food. It's good for you. It tastes good. It's convenient. Small little pot is convenient. You don't want a huge, if it's an apple crumble flavor, you don't want to eat a whole fucking apple crumble or take it in a Tupperware box. Small little 3 or 4 mouthfuls. It's perfect. It's a shame they don't do it in bigger pots, really, although I do understand why. Because big pots, obviously, it wouldn't be suitable for babies. So I understand that. But that just makes it more convenient. Small, convenient, good tasting, healthy dessert pot. Once it's rebranded, it'll change the world. So what I'm saying is that you need to join the baby food revolution. You need to join in, purchase some baby food, try it, try your own flavors. You know, like, don't just go for banana and apple oatmeal, like I said. Plenty of flavors out there. Blueberry, strawberry, bananas and custard. Who wouldn't want that? I mean, the possibilities are endless. So do go and try it and provide some feedback and join the revolution and tell your friends that they need to be doing it as well, because it really will change lives. It will benefit people across the world, benefit their health, benefit their happiness. It's cheap as well. It's not going to break the bank. You know, it's only like sometimes Tesco do like 3 for £1. You have 3 little snacks for £1. If you did that in Snickers bars, probably be set back £2.50. So think about it. Anyway, I realise that this is potentially a little bit off-piste, even in terms of this podcast, which doesn't necessarily confront the most normal of issues as it is. Realise that this one is a little bit left of field. But I don't really care. It's not really my problem. Hope you enjoyed listening to me rant about baby food and how much I love it and why you should go for it. Not sure what the next one's going to be about yet. So just tune in. If you just subscribe, you know, get notifications on, then you don't have to worry. So just subscribe to the podcast. There will be another episode. It will be coming out at some point. And I promise you that it will be about something completely removed from baby food. That's the theme that we're going for, really. That there's just random topics. And I'm just picking stuff out of the blue that's been rattling around in my head or has newly been rattling around in my head. And I'm talking about it. And hopefully that brings some form of entertainment. So yes, do subscribe, do listen in. There will potentially shortly be some social medias out there for the podcast, just so I can jack up some listeners. Not jack off some listeners, by the way, jack up, you know, get more, push the numbers up. I'm not giving out hand jobs to listeners. Not yet, anyway. Not unless, you know, you start paying me to do it. And really, I'll do anything for money. So, in fact, if you do want me to jack you off, just get in touch. Realise this, yeah, the podcast has got to be over now. Now I'm talking about stuff like this. So, thank you very much. Do subscribe, do buy some baby food, and tune in next time. Thanks very much.